I've done a little tiny project just to get my hands dirty and show you guys how to clean. So I made this what we call a pinch pot, little feet on it. Maybe I could use it for jewelry. I don't know what. You guys will do one eventually. But kind of got my hands dirty, and definitely my space is dirty here. Before I start cleaning, I need to pack up. That way I don't have to clean twice. So this is my clay that I want to keep using. And I have a plastic bag here that I am going to wrap it up in with no air so that it doesn't dry out. So just wrapping it up. I do not use twisty ties, all that stuff, because they're just extra work. If you want to use a twisty tie, that's fine. Or you could just lay it like that and the clay will hold the bag down and keep the air out. I also, maybe you want to keep working on the project. So I am going to wrap the project up so I could add more height, more, stuff on the sides, whatever. And I don't have time to do it right now. So I have another plastic bag. And again, sort of doing the same thing. If you want to keep working with it, you got to force the air out. So I am giving a little twist here. Maybe this project isn't super fragile. Maybe I want to put it upside down like that. I don't know. Maybe you want to put more plastic around it. It's really up to you how you're going to do it. And then find a place that, it's going to store in the garage or wherever your space is. If you want to go grab yourself a big sponge, we have these at school, but they may be a little bit too big for where you are working and not necessary. But I picked this up for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And I picked each of these containers up for $1. So if you can find some sort of container. So I have 2 containers for myself. One, a container that I kind of throw the initial dirty stuff in. I'm going to get, can you see all the dirt? All this is dried out clay. And I was working with 2 different colors, but I gotta get that cleaned up. And so I'm gonna go over here to my first dirty water mess and start cleaning. I keep these by the sinks at school, but I like to get into the little niches and crannies of my fingernails because the clay gets stuck in there. So I'm gonna kind of get that part clean. You can do it how you want it. And then I have another bunch of clean water that doesn't have any dirt in it. And I have a clean towel here. I'm gonna try and clean up my space. So I have, instead of this big sponge, which seems a little bit too big, I have another sponge, and I've got it full of this semi-dirty water, and I am just gonna get my area all nice and wet and picking up that dry dust. You don't want to breathe that dry dust. It's a battle that we will fight all year. The dust is not really great to breathe. Can cause, over a long time, not in a year or two, but over 20-30 years, it can cause lung issues. A lot like smoking. Stuff is going down into your lungs and staying there. So we'll talk about it later. But that's not enough. If I just wipe it down with a wet sponge, when this eventually dries, it's going to have a white residue. So the white residue comes off best with a towel. Go back over it with the towel. We're going to do this at school. At the end of periods, we will wipe our tables with a wet sponge, and then come back and dry it. And we do it as a group. You guys can figure out how. We'll talk about it when we get there. But essentially, that's how you clean. These towels can go in the wash. They've got little bits of clay in them, so dusty stuff, I don't want to use them again and just kind of spread the dust around. I want to get rid of it. Last but not least, I can see a little bit more on my hand. Last but not least, I am constantly, every time I wash my hands, I am coming back with a tiny bit of lotion. I don't need a lot, just a little. Just to re-moisturize my hands. Clay, for some reason, really sucks the water out of your hands, and I just don't like that dry feeling. So I have 2 lotion bottles at school. I have 1 lotion bottle here. Maybe you want to grab something and keep that for yourself. That was it. That was the cleaning process. Now you guys got to make sure you keep your area clean so you don't get people in your house that are upset with you, or me at school upset with you. Always remember that you are cleaning for the next person that's going to be there. So be courteous, be kind, so that we don't upset people. That's it.